Hey everybody, welcome to the video. So I'm here today with this 2018 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited 4-door, and this is Bill's, and he called me and said he couldn't open the door. So let's check this out. So 3 of these doors open really well. I mean, you can one-hand those all day. This door though, it is frozen, almost unopenable. It takes definitely a lot of weight to push that door open, and you're not going to flip it closed. I mean, these hinges are pretty much stuck, froze. So if you look at them, there is a little bit of rust showing, and this turns out it's a fairly common issue with these. It's definitely a known issue, but there's a fairly quick fix, so let's try it out. So this is a set of Kentrol JK door hinge liners. Hinge liners are a special plastic called Delrin, and supposedly these are about the best you can put in there. So let's try it out. I'll pry this thing open. So first we need to roll down the window to keep it from getting broke while we're messing with it. Okay, and I started by moving the passenger seat all the way forward, trying to stay out of the light. So there is a small hole here. Pop that free, and that opens up the access to our wiring. Okay, now this strap wiring harness, we can just bring that up over this hook. There we go. Okay, so the wire connector we need to undo is this gray one, not the yellow one. So that one, just push the bottom, and it unplugs pretty easy. Okay, now we'll feed this hole and now we can take the door off. All right, so we've got our window down, we've got our wire unplugged, and we've got that safety strap disconnected. The next thing we'll do is take this T50 and remove these caps. And I'm keeping the ratchet head away from the door so I don't scratch up the paint. Okay, so there is one of our caps, and just the amount of crud and rust inside that, I'd say this is going to be our problem. There's number 2. Okay, now then, if the door's not just completely stuck, should be able to raise it up, and this door is not going to come off here. So we are not able to move this hinge. So what I've seen all kinds of stuff people talk about using a floor jack to try and jack these up and stuff, and I've heard that that's a good way to mess them up. What I've seen is people seem to have the most luck by putting these caps back on, just not all the way, just a few threads anyway, and then hitting them with a hammer to drive this hinge up. And what I thought was, instead of using a hammer, I'm trying to shut that door a little bit, I thought maybe I could use an air bit, but let's try a hammer real quick. The other thing is, instead of just hitting that, I thought if I put this in, it can't slip off. So let's try something with that. And like I said, there's a lot of paint here you could damage with that. So what I was thinking was, we can hit it here, but that same thing, you could come off with the paint. We'll see what we can do with an air gun. So I've got an air gun here with a 3/8 adapter. And this air gun doesn't spin, it just vibrates up and down. Let's see what it does. Oh! Okay, so that might not be the best way to do it. Try it again. I think it's starting to move it. Okay, I'm gonna hit PV Blaster on both these. And gonna have some hearing protection. Oh yeah. She's coming off, hopefully, because it seems like it's working. Okay, let's see if we can lift this door off now. Okay, at this point, we've got the hinges loosened up a little bit, and I just sprayed a bunch of penetrating oil in there and just kind of working that back and forth while pulling the door up. And it might be starting to go a little bit. Definitely not sliding right out. Starting to spew all kinds of nasty crap out of the in between the hinges. So I don't know what that is, but don't need it, that's for sure. So while you're opening and closing this door, trying to work that lube in on these hinges, take this wire and stick it in that bag so it doesn't get shut in the door or damaged at all while you're doing this. So it seems like it's going on the second hour of wiggling these hinges. And I think it's starting to move. Okay, so I've got the door moving better, but I still haven't got it to come off. And I think where I'm at this point is I'm gonna pull these hinges off here and then drive those off to get to those hinge pins. Okay, let's see if we can get these off. There we go. The door is off. Okay, I've got this door sitting on a rubber floor mat. Make sure you see this. And really, that hinge moves. It's the bottom hinge that's locked up, I believe. Okay, and that's gonna mar that paint. Let me get a block of wood. Okay, I'm gonna take a block of wood and put here on this hinge, and then take my air hammer and see if I can drive this hinge off there. See if you can see it, if I can figure out how to do it. Well, I made a good wood splitter. There we go, look at that. All right, well, the top one came right off, but I really think that's the one that wasn't stuck that bad. Let's see how the bottom one does. The bottom one doesn't have as good a flat spot either. It's moving though. There we go. So this is the hinge that I think was causing us all the problems. And I marred it up a little bit. You'll have to get just a little touch-up paint or buy new hinges. So there's the hinge pin. We'll get that cleaned up. And here's the bottom one, which, like I said, I think is the one that was the problem. But we'll get these cleaned up. We'll put our new bushings in these hinges and put this back together. An air hammer's not always the answer, but it often is. What is it? Everything looks like a nail with a hammer? I like it. Okay, so I'm gonna put these hinges back on, and I'm gonna use the paint marks to make sure I get them lined up right. I kind of thought that might have been the problem originally, was maybe these hinges weren't lined up right, until I found out those bushings go bad pretty regularly. Okay, so this Kentrol JK door hinge liner set came with instructions, came with a little removal tool, and then enough hinge liners to do the entire car. So we're gonna go ahead and do this door and see how it works, and then probably do the rest of them. This kit was on Amazon for $27. Okay, and it says all of these liners have to come out from the top and to use this tool from the bottom up. So we'll see how they do. And it says that all of these stock liners are very difficult. And I'd agree that they're pretty stubborn. That didn't move at all yet. Okay, let's try something different. Okay, I didn't really like hitting that tool with that hammer that close to this paint. But I've got a ground rod driver for my air hammer, but this tool wouldn't quite go in it. So a few minutes with the bench grinder, now it does. So let's try the air hammer, see if we have any luck. Look at that! Ha! Now this is the one that I didn't think was really stuck. Ha! I love air hammers. Okay, let's try this bottom one. If I'm yelling, it's because I got my headphones on. Okay, here we go. All right, let's try something different. Okay, this is a piece of Schedule 80 pipe that I've had left from a little project, but it's almost the exact right size to put this here and use it as an anvil. So we'll see how that works, or if it works. All right, I think I'm in camera. That looks like it's almost peened over, or maybe tack welded right there. I think I'm gonna bust that off there. Yeah, I'm gonna hit that with a little bit of grinding action first. Okay, I ground the very lip off that. And now you can see the separation between the two metals, the sleeve and then the parent metal of the hinge. So I'm gonna put a little PV blaster in that and we'll see what we can do. I don't see no movement. So let's keep on trying. Okay, hadn't really moved any yet. I said that to get some PV blaster down in there on that lip. I've got a bit here for the air chisel. I'm just going to use it. See how if it does anything. Other than get stuck. Aha! Look at that! Victory! Can you see me good? There we go. So there is that piece that was causing all the problems. So let's get this back together. I put these exactly where they were based off the paint. There's already a little bit of corrosion on these hinges, so it probably wouldn't be a bad thing to get a little touch-up paint anyway, clean some stuff up. But the little bit of marking that I did with the air hammer, I don't think you're really going to notice that. Especially not if you use some touch-up paint. Okay, so these little Delron, I think they're called, anyway, whatever, sleeves, they're all the same length. But what I see is the stock OEM are not the same length. The bottom one is just a little bit shorter. And all of these are actually the length of the bottom one. So I guess, I don't know, hopefully that doesn't hurt anything. But the top sleeve that's OEM is just maybe a 1/4 inch longer. I thought I was gonna have to cut off the bottoms, but actually I don't know of any way to stretch the top ones. But these are real simple. They go in right here and gently tap in. Not bad. Okay, and we'll do the same thing with the new bottom one. There we go. So all the doors over here, I did go ahead and clean up these hinge pins, and there's some, you can feel some corrosion on them. I think I'm gonna put a little anti-seize on there. Okay, before I put this door on, I'm just gonna put a little anti-seize on these hinge pins. May just keep them from freezing up so bad next time, even though that's what the purpose of these new liners are. There we go. Just get a little everywhere. All right, now to lift the door onto the pins. And because I took the hinges off, I have to make sure that I get these hinges lined up okay. There we go, they're in there. All right, look at that, and that thing opens and closes like a dream. This door opens and closes real easy now. So I got to hook up the safety strap and hook up the wiring and put those caps on the back. But I don't think there's nothing wrong with that at all. All right, let's put our little cap back in. Okay, now we just need to plug back in our electrical and hook back on our little strap, and this job will be done. All right, well, we got the door opening. It now has the safety stop on, the wiring's back on. We're all set. And that door opens and closes like a dream. All right, well, DIY garage. The door opens, the door closes. And it didn't do that before. So we're happy. So these Kentrol JK door hinge liners, I'm not sure if maybe these are not the exact same ones they're supposed to be on there, but I did notice that the top hinge liners on the kit are just a hair shorter, about a 1/4 inch shorter than the OEM ones on the top, but the bottom was the right length, so that works. I did see on some of the reviews, people said they had to cut off the bottom hinge liner a little bit on some of the ones they've got out there, and I kind of was thinking I'd have to do that, but this was just the opposite of that. But this job, it took a little bit of special tools. If you didn't wait till this door basically didn't open and close at all, it might not have. So, like I said, I had fun doing the project. Hope you had fun watching it. If you did, give us a thumbs up. It absolutely helps the channel, and we invite you to subscribe to see more. I'll get this back across to Bill because he's going to need it to go to breakfast in the morning. It's snowing right now. All right, have a great day and be safe.